Welcome to Invictus Motors. We've got this Porsche 718 GTS. This is the 2.5 litre turbocharged, and in the speed yellow there is the 718 GTS as well, but this is the 4 litre GTS. And to be completely honest with you, this is a lot of car for the money. And if you wanted to buy that, that's going to cost you £20,000 more. I'm not necessarily going to do sort of a comparison between this and that, like a direct comparison, but what I'd like to do is to just explain the car for how it drives, how it handles, and for why I think the 2.5 litre turbocharged GTS not only sounds amazing, but it drives absolutely amazing. And to some degree, I would say not much different to the 4 litre 718 GTS, despite the fact that you can spend £20,000 less on this. So before we can get into the car and drive it, please don't forget to subscribe. We earn out of YouTube, and that money we actually donate to charity. And if you've got any other sort of content you'd like to see on this channel, feel free to put your recommendation in the comment section. And let's just get on with this by taking it out for a drive. What I want to do in this first bit of the video is to actually let the Porsche 718 GTS 2.5 litre, let it do its talking. What I do want to cover is, up until I hit that main road, is just quickly the performance figures. So 2.5 litre boxer engine, which is turbocharged, that produces 360 bhp. That 981 GT4, the Cayman 981 GT4 produced 380 bhp, so a 20 bhp increase, despite the fact that that's a 3.8 litre naturally aspirated and this is a 2.5 litre turbocharged. This produces 430 newton meters of torque, and the 981 GT4 was 420 newton meters of torque. The 0 to 62 miles per hour on this is 4.1 seconds. And the GT4 was a tad bit slower, and the top speed on this is 180 miles per hour. So there you go, just with some performance numbers. This really nice burble and grunt that you actually get out of it. So handling wise, the Porsche Cayman, I've always felt, have a far superior handling in comparison to the 911s, and that's obviously due to the fact that they are mid-engine cars, so around bends at even slightly higher speed, they are just gluing, literally they're gluing onto the ground. Let's open it up. Spec-wise, this is finished in everything one could want from a Porsche 718 GTS. It's got the sport design pack, GT Sport steering wheel, sports exhaust, the Sports Chrono Plus with PSM. This really isn't missing anything. And this is at a slightly higher speed, higher RPM. So low gear, higher RPM, which was between 5,000 to 6,000 RPM. It's just put it through its pace right now. Just second gear, just under 3,000 RPM actually. Now third gear, so I'll drop a gear and then I'll kind of give it a bit of beans. pedal shifts with a PDK transmission. It just makes it such a joy to drop down a gear and sort of take it up a gear using the pedal shifts. An incredible experience. So hopefully this has convinced you, if you are thinking of getting a 718 GTS, you should, because I think it's an incredible car in every way, form and shape. And if you've got any additional questions, please don't hesitate to ask us. And see you in the next video. If this is not something you are basically considering to buy here from Invictus, because the next section is mainly about paperwork and just the overall spec of the vehicle. And so I do appreciate you guys for taking your time to actually watch this video with us, and hopefully see you next time. So if this is all you want to watch and this is all you're here for, thank you. Bye bye. I've got to say, it's been nothing but amazing. You know, you could hear the sound, you could see the way it drives, the way it handles, and I love the fact that it's got this clean look on that front bumper. In terms of specification, it's finished in the jet black metallic paint color with the 20-inch 911 Carrera S alloys, and it's got the upgraded bi-xenon PDLS headlights with side-folding side door mirrors. And the Cayman, obviously, heritage, as a matter of fact, predates that of actually the 911, because the 911 came about in 1963, whereas the Cayman's heritage is set on the Porsches from the 50s and the early 60s. Things like the monocoque chassis, the mid-engine setup, ultimately makes it a better driving car and a handling car than a 911 or a 911 GTS, because you've got the engine behind the rear axle in a 911. And just with the GTS, and this finished in this sort of black on black sort of color scheme with this bigger diffuser, the sports tailpipes with the switchable sports exhaust system, the LED lights at the back, makes it an incredible car to just drive on and daily. Let me just invite you inside the cabin space just to show you some of the inside spec on this. It's finished with all the spec you could possibly want in a 718 GTS. The GT Sport steering wheel, which is also heated with a Chrono Sport Plus package, as you can see the Chrono watch. It's the multifunctional steering wheel, and normally this is the steering wheel that you'd normally find in the GT3s, I would say, or even sort of the high-end 911 GTSs. You've got the PDK dual clutch 7 transmission gearbox. Again, phenomenal gearbox, as I talked about. And I just love the chrome with the black, with the PSC button, heated seats. It's got the Apple CarPlay. The seats are also the Sport Seats Plus, the hardback Sport Seats Plus. So they are in good condition, good nick, and you've got the Cayman GTS tread plates as soon as you walk in, with the Bose sound system, the side foldings, side door mirrors, and the fact it's got the cruise control. So in terms of spec, this has got everything you could possibly throw into a car, including the fact it's got the Alcantara headlining there as well. And that's basically all the spec. And in terms of practicality, these are incredibly practical, starting from the front boot. So if you are actually going to be doing some sort of a European trip, just looking at all the space that's there in the front boot, you know, a lot of space there. And to the back, you've got some more space for some other goodies and bags you can chuck in here at the back, with the fact that you've got some additional storage space right here onto the side. So if you want to chuck in some stationery or other bits and bobs, you can do so right here. So that's everything on the spec, storage, on what these cars are like. The next section is about the paperwork. So if you want to stop watching this video at this point, feel free to do so. But don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Now onto the paperwork side of things. On the Porsche 718 GTS, this was first registered in mid 2018, to be precise, on 29th of June 2018. Since then, it's had all of its servicing up to schedule as and when it needed. And in terms of the number of keepers, it's got 2 former keepers. The current third keeper, as a matter of fact, has owned this since October 2020, and we purchased it directly from that current third owner. Now, in terms of the service history, I just want to cover that this, as a matter of fact, had Porsche warranty until June 2021. And since then, the first service would have been done in October 2020, which has been done at a specialist called Porsche, Critford Porsche Specialists. So that was the service that was done at 16,000 miles. These tend to be serviced every 2 years or 20,000 miles. And then that next service that was done, as you can see here, this was in 2020, as you can see here, on 6th September 2023. So the next service not due until 5th September 2025. And they basically carried out everything it needed. A major service, supplied new oil, filters, air filter, rear brake discs, pads, supplied 2 new air condensers, and obviously had the AC system regassed, all at a cost of £1,854. There's some further invoices here as well of other things which were done on 26 September 2022. Again, it's actually a repeat of some of the items that were on this service. Well, as a matter of fact, this one is before that, so all done at 27,000 miles. And that third service was done at 35,000 miles. So they had actually done a service there as well, including the fact that they had the spark plugs replaced. But I guess these guys, Mr. Antonio, like to just service his car every single year as opposed to every 2 years. Maybe he didn't know that Porsches needed to be serviced every 2 years. Rather than every year. But that's the invoice for some of the works he had done there. Obviously, yeah, spark plugs and a major service and an MOT that was done. And then prior to that, in October 2021, it had 2 new tires supplied and fitted by the same specialist. They specialize in Porsches as well as some other luxury cars and brands. This is everything on the paperwork on this lovely Porsche 718 GTS. Don't forget to subscribe. We earn out of YouTube the money we donate to charity, so I appreciate any support that we get online, and hopefully see you next time. Thank you, and have a pleasant spring and pleasant weather to come this year.